Red Bull dominated the Japanese Grand Prix, with Max Verstappen delivering a commanding performance that kept both McLaren drivers behind. But this victory could just be the beginning, as the team seems determined to maintain their momentum throughout the 2025 season. Despite predictions that the RB21 would struggle this year, Red Bull has been preparing key upgrades to address the car's balance, which could make a significant difference moving forward. Moreover, the team is placing a lot of hope in a technical directive coming into play from the Barcelona Grand Prix onwards, which could slow McLaren down considerably. With this in mind, could we witness an intense rivalry between McLaren and Verstappen? If so, will Red Bull's strategic updates help keep their four-time world champion ahead of McLaren's rising challenge? There's a lot of buzz surrounding Red Bull's current performance. Even though the RB21 has been labeled as an unpredictable car, Verstappen is just 1 point behind Lando Norris in the Drivers' Championship after 3 races in 2025. Following his victory in Japan, the team is now focusing on upgrades that will extend the gains they made in Suzuka, hoping to bring the car's performance to the next level. On top of that, Red Bull is confident that the technical directive from Barcelona onwards will have a more significant impact on McLaren than many anticipate. At the Japanese Grand Prix, a noticeable evolution in the RB21 included updates to the engine cover and rear suspension, both aimed at enhancing the performance of the beam wing. Even though Yuki Tsunoda drove with a more loaded rear wing for increased downforce, he's satisfied with the car's adaptation process so far. Verstappen, however, was able to push the RB21 to its limits, extracting every bit of potential from the car's raw power. But with the upcoming upgrades, Red Bull aims to provide him with an even wider platform to work with. Helmut Marko has stated that the team expects to need about 5 more races to roll out significant upgrades that will put them in direct competition with McLaren. If they delay any longer, it could be too late to challenge for the top spot. This urgency is part of why Tsunoda replaced Lawson in the driver lineup for the remainder of the season. Red Bull is pushing hard for that 5th championship, and they know they can't afford to waste time. The team is committed to leaving no stone unturned in their development of the RB21. Verstappen's victory in Japan, despite expressing frustration with the car's setup, is proof of the car's untapped potential. With the right upgrades, Red Bull believes they can close the gap and put up a strong fight for the title. The competition is fierce, and McLaren's tire management stands out as one area where they have the edge over Red Bull. While both teams have strong cars, McLaren's dominance in tire management and their ability to perform consistently over one lap gives them a slight advantage. But what Verstappen can rely on is the fact that McLaren has 2 top drivers, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, both of whom are fiercely competitive and ready to battle each other for the best possible position. We saw this clearly in Suzuka, where McLaren's strategy errors helped Verstappen secure the win. However, despite the strategy mistakes, Red Bull still needs a car that's stronger in terms of performance to ensure consistent frontrunner status. If McLaren were to sit idle and not develop their car while Red Bull works on upgrades, it would be naive. It seems clear that we'll have to wait until the Barcelona Grand Prix to see how the new technical directive, which aims to limit the flexibility of front wings, affects McLaren. The Woking-based team has pushed the boundaries of aerodynamics, and the new regulation could significantly impact them. Pierre Gasly has even pointed out that Ferrari's front wings might also be too flexible, though both teams have denied these accusations. As we wait for these regulations to be enforced, McLaren's team principal, Andrea Stella, has already mentioned that adjustments will be necessary for their car, not just to the front wing, but also the rear. McLaren isn't just adjusting to these new regulations. They're also preparing for an aggressive upgrade strategy throughout the 2025 season. Team boss Zak Brown emphasized that their approach isn't about making small tweaks here and there, but instead taking bold risks with the car's development. The goal is to push the boundaries and challenge the entire field, aiming to be the team at the very front. He made it clear that McLaren's mindset has shifted from simply matching the performance of others to outright beating them. This shift in strategy could be crucial for the team's success moving forward as they aim to consistently stay ahead of their rivals. On the other hand, Red Bull is confident that their new upgrades and the technical directive will have a detrimental effect on McLaren's MCL39, potentially bringing them closer to Red Bull's level of performance. As we saw last season, Red Bull's early dominance began to fade once the upgrades started arriving from the Miami Grand Prix onwards, signaling that the competition would heat up. Verstappen proved in 2024 that even with the third fastest car on the grid, he could still win the championship, a feat not seen since Keke Rosberg and Nelson Piquet in the early 1980s. The fact that Verstappen is now more involved in the car's development only adds to the team's confidence that they can fight for the title this year. Red Bull isn't slowing down in their efforts to improve the RB21. Despite a new set of regulations coming next year, the team knows that abandoning development this season would be a mistake. They understand the tough competition from established teams like Ferrari, Mercedes, and even Honda, which means they need to keep pushing for improvements. The current window of opportunity is critical if they want to secure that fifth championship with Verstappen. This is why so much focus is going into refining the car's overall philosophy and improving its stability. The RB21 is often described as a beast that's difficult to control, even for Verstappen. But Red Bull is aiming to make it more manageable. With increased time in the wind tunnel, the team has been receiving positive feedback, and engineers have identified key areas for improvement. The first set of upgrades is expected to bring the car's performance closer to McLaren's, with goals of reducing lap times by 2 to 3 tenths and providing a broader operating window. This could allow for a more confident Tsunoda as he faces the challenges of the 2025 season, and the team's ability to utilize both drivers effectively will be crucial in keeping Verstappen in the fight for the title. As Red Bull focuses on its upgrades, the challenge of staying ahead in a highly competitive field is only growing. They're aware of the fine line between innovation and legality, and this is something that's been under constant scrutiny by the FIA. The controversy around McLaren's mini DRS trick in Baku in 2024 and the accusations regarding front wing flexibility in 2025 highlight just how close teams are pushing the limits. With new regulations set to be enforced in Barcelona, the flexibility of the front wing is likely to be a key area of focus for all teams, and Red Bull is hoping their upgrades will help close the gap to McLaren. Verstappen himself has acknowledged that if he were driving a McLaren, the results would likely be different, suggesting that his current car holds a unique advantage despite its imperfections. After his impressive win in Suzuka, he expressed satisfaction with how he's working with the RB21, even though it's not perfect. As the season progresses, it remains to be seen whether Red Bull's upgrades and the upcoming technical changes will be enough to challenge McLaren for the top spot. But one thing's for sure, this season is shaping up to be a thrilling battle. So what do you think? Will Red Bull's upgrades be enough to close the gap to McLaren, or will McLaren continue to dominate with their innovative designs? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out the next video on your screen.